Let's talk about the counteroffensive on the left bank and the tank meet landing of the enemy. In December, it became apparent that the armed forces had started the process of forming a buffer zone in the temporarily occupied left bank of the Kherson region, in which the Russian occupants were as uncomfortable as possible. This was achieved through regular fire pressure on enemy positions and facilities, through the superiority of the right bank over the left bank and the greater range and accuracy of the AFU artillery. In fact, since December 2022, the occupants have carried out a progressive withdrawal of their units from this area in order to minimize casualties. In turn, this group itself has one of the worst equipment among the units of the Russian forces in the entire combat zone. As a result, we can observe that for the second month in a row on the left bank of the Kherson region, the Russian troops have been enduring and trying to survive. Insistently, painfully, but tolerating, suffering losses and not always receiving compensation for them, both in personnel and equipment, since the bulk of the mass goes to Bakhmut. The situation on the right bank was similar and even better, because there they tried to saturate the right bank with a mass of recruits in a fit of convulsions. Otherwise, everything is the same, except for logistics. Although, to say that the logistics on the left bank are not under the radar is wrong. I would not be surprised if the Russian command will make another not easy decision on the left bank, but it is too early to say. Early, but everything is going to this, and the AFU speeds up the process, regularly adjusting the left bank mass to the right conclusions. Meanwhile, the Russian command is bringing back to life tank assaults, a tactic from the Second World War era. This is due to the fact that the losses of armored fighting vehicles in the Russian armed forces do not have time to compensate. As a result, the occupation commanders are beginning to practice the long outdated tank landing again. By the way, the problem of compensating losses of AFVs and tanks for the Russian military-industrial complex is that the removal of tanks from storage is given greater priority. That is, if roughly, having the capacity to restore 200 vehicles, it is more likely that 150 tanks and 50 AFVs will be restored, rather than vice versa. This is due to the historically hypertrophied Russian fetish for tanks. There should be a lot of tanks, because tanks are power, remember they're tank biathlons. Yes, it sounds banal stupid, but that is the whole concept of Russian army, in armored fists. As a result, medium and light armored vehicles are becoming less and less available to Russian troops. In fact, the paratroopers are placed on tank armor. At the moment of landing it hastens up and engages in combat. The disadvantages are that the troops are completely unprotected against small arms, shrapnel, and other weapons. In essence, it's easily searable meat on a frying pan. When another tank or an anti-tank missile hits a tank, the tank itself may survive, but the external crew can be torn to pieces. In addition, the pile of meat on the armor makes it difficult for the turret to operate, and generally reduces the maneuverability of the tank. And the effect of firing the 125mm cannon while landing on armor. Experience the delights of the salvo. Now, because of the degradation of the Second Army in the world, it looks more and more like the Red Army of the 1940s. And it was quite predictable.